Hello and welcome to the test of the new version of Gearhead. As you can see, we've got a nicer logo this time. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue because I already made a profile since I entered in some cheats so that we could have a little extra money so I could show off a little more of what the game can do. So with that said, let's get going. So let's buy a car. Like I said, I did cheat in some money, so we've got $100,000. The normal amount that you start with is $2,500. So this is actually a bit of a tough choice. We've got the choice between a 70 Mallard Contender R. Obviously, these are fake car names. Some of them are kind of inspired by real cars, but copyright reasons, they're all fake. Personally though, I'm kind of drawn to this. It's got a 427. It's a really good motor. Just a really good looking car. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and buy the 1972 Louis Duntov SE. So all the cars actually have a couple different variants. Some of them, like this, the Louis Duntov SE. There's also just a regular Louis Duntov, and that doesn't have the cool kind of hood scoop, and doesn't have the side pipes. And then within that, each car, even if it doesn't have a different version like this with the SE, will have two different engine options. So we've got the kind of kingpin there, the 427. I believe the regular one, not the SE, comes with either a 454 or a 350. I think I'm remembering that right. Another example, Mallard Contender R. There's a regular Mallard Contender. The regular one doesn't have the shaker hood and doesn't have that cool stripe kit. If I remember correctly, I don't think it has the spoiler either, but I can't 100% remember. And the Mallard Contender R, this one has a 340. I believe your other option is a 440, might be a 426. I can't 100% remember, but that doesn't really matter. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and buy this car. I guess now we will exit out. And engine. Now, if you were playing the game, you would probably need to go back to the garage and check what engine family that engine is, because the way you buy parts here is based on the family of the engine. It affects the number that you buy, because you only need one cam in a pushrod motor like this, but say you have a rotary, well, that doesn't have a cam. You also can't buy pistons. You can buy rotors though. You have a dual overhead cam car, well, it's gonna need 2 cams per cylinder bank. Obviously, if it's a V-formation engine, you need 4. If it's an inline engine, you'll just need 2. But I kind of memorized all the engine families just through testing and writing them in and stuff from programming. So this is an LDL. That stands for Large Displacement Lewis, not Lewis Large Displacement. That wouldn't really make sense. So yeah, there you go, LDL. That just affects what you can buy. It's a carburetor car, so you're not buying fuel rails. That's really the only restriction on this particular motor. So, let's go for heads. Let's go for a cam. Let's do... we can do rocker arms. Pistons, headers, exhaust. We have tons of money, so... let's see, turbo or supercharger. I'm old school. I'm going supercharger. We could do an intercooler, but like I said, old school, roots style supercharger. I'm not gonna run an intercooler. Nitrous kit. Do a big bottle. I believe that already came with a 4-barrel carb. Would do tunnel ram, but obviously supercharger. Or no, actually, you can do a tunnel ram with a supercharger. Forgot about that. Originally, you weren't going to be able to, but then I thought, maybe that is possible. I looked it up, and there are some crazy people who have actually managed to do that, put a supercharger on a tunnel ram or a tunnel ram on top of a supercharger. If that's your deal, do it. Now I can't remember if I actually clicked on that, so I'm just going to click it again. And since we're going drag racing, let's go for some shorter gears. We have a lot of power, so I'm not going to go with the 513. I'm going to go with the 411. And that should be it for now. As you can see, we got a whole lot of parts there, so let's just start fitting them. Oof, I don't like that color, so I'll show off the paint shop to kind of change that, because that's just, that is a baby barf green car. Oh lord. So let's add in the aluminum heads, as you can see, like I said, 427. There's your engine family, LDL. I already knew that, but just so that you know where to look when the game does eventually come out. Aluminum heads. There you go. They went in there. Stock cast heads came out. Each part kind of has an identifier here. The engine parts will have the engine family first, just so that the game kind of knows what they are. As you can see, the bottle, well, that's universal. You don't need a specific bottle to a motor. Gears, well, they're rear end gears, or if it's a front wheel drive car, front end gears. They're final drive gears. So, kind of independent of the motor that's in the car, really. So yeah, we've taken off the stock heads. Let's go ahead and throw on a nitrous kit. Because who doesn't want nitrous in their nice motor? As you can see, once we put the nitrous on, you get kind of a selection of what, kind of size shot you want. Let's go with 300, just because why not? It's a game. I don't really care if the motor blows up. 411 gears. Got to throw those in. That's giving me problems right now. It's still a little buggy. This is a beta version. I will fix that before the official release. Throw the bottle in. Root supercharger. As you can see, we can change PSI. Turbos can run more pressure. Single turbo runs the most. Twin turbo runs second most. Supercharger runs the least. But obviously, boost builds faster on the twin turbo than the single turbo. And depending on how you set it up, it's going to build faster on the supercharger. For anyone who doesn't know, boost on a supercharger is proportional to RPM. It's because it's a mechanical system. Turbocharger, it's run off exhaust. Single turbo, it's a big single, so it takes a while to get it spinning. It's basically a glorified fan. Twin turbo, two smaller fans, spin up faster. That's not entirely true in real life because you do have varying sizes, but for the mechanic to work in the game, that's how it's set up. Let's see. There is a limit to how much boost you can run, but because I have cheats on, that's not happening right now. I'm going to say mild. Well, not mild. That's actually pretty nuts for a supercharger. But we'll go with like 14, 15 PSI, something like that. Stainless exhaust. Stainless headers. Stainless being stainless steel. High compression pistons. Rocker arms. Those you won't be able to get on certain cars because this is a push rod motor. It does have rocker arms. Obviously, if you have a direct acting camshaft like a, let's say, DOHC single overhead cam, dual overhead cam. Let me try that again. DOHC, which is dual overhead cam, or SOHC single overhead cam, you don't have push rods, so there's no rockers there. A lot of modern engines are already going to have roller rocker arms, but this car was built in 1972, so it doesn't. Let's see, what else do we still have to throw on there? Oh, the cam. That's kind of important. Tunnel ram. Like I said, that's giving me problems right now. That also shouldn't be there. I have to remember to put that. Yeah, so now let's take it to the body shop. Okay. So, first things first, body and frame condition. Obviously, when you buy a used car, it's not always going to be in great shape. So cars can rust, they can kind of get some paint damage. You're not seeing that here because even though it's a low percentage, it's below 50% rust starts to show up, and also this is a fiberglass car, so you're really only going to see rust on the actual metal parts of the car. Like I said, though, I believe it's below 50%. I programmed it to start showing the rust animation, so you wouldn't see that here anyway. But just to demonstrate how it works, let's go ahead and do frame and body repair. $35 an hour. An hour is, 1%. So, wait, did I do it 1% or 2%? I can't 100% remember, but you can see right here, it shows you how much that's going to cost you in total. We still have tons of money, so there you go. Now it's at 100%. Paint. Let's just pick ourselves a nice color here. I like red, so we're going to go for red. Maybe a darker red. I kind of like that. There you go. A little bit of a paint noise. Obviously, it's like a rattle can noise, which is not really what you'd use to paint a car, but you get the gist. Car's red now. It's all repaired. Let's bring it on back home. Okay, so here you go. Car's red. You can see it a little better now because it's got that sort of zoomed in view.